Hello, everyone. So I just saw this report on People's Gazette that Canada has denied asylum to Yoruba Nation leader Ayoola Oke after a prolonged legal battle. And for me, the interesting thing, it's not even about him that I'm doing, because I have a lot of people who want Yoruba Nation who constantly come to attack me, insult me, abuse me, all sorts of things, both on my YouTube channel and also on my X page. I really don't read much of my Facebook comments, so I'll TikTok, so I might not, or Instagram, so I might not know whether they are there. But on YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter, they're always there, and I find it quite interesting. You know what? For them, is that anger. How dare you? And I get some of that also from people who are fighting for Biafra, IPOP people. How dare you work for Nigeria? How dare you working towards Nigeria? If I'm doing election, why are you not working, agitating for separation? I'm like, guy, you do the separation, me do the unification. Let's continue to go. Now, I've always said it. I don't have a problem whether Nigeria decides it's going to separate into 36 or 37 countries. So be it. What I have a problem with is that where there is no accountability, transparency, good governance, those are the issues that I have. And whatever we do, for me, one Nigeria is not sacrosanct. And they're always like, they want you to come and be doing what it is they're doing. I'm like, no, you do your thing. For me, politics is important. Even if we have an ESA nation today, they have to still do politics. Otherwise, what is happening at the center in Nigeria today will end up happening in those places. And you see some of them, the way they're so aggressive and whatever. So that's, for me, that is on that basis that I'm actually looking at this particular article. Not that I even know who this leader is. I don't think I've ever seen him or known anything. But I'm like, if you're fighting for Yoruba Nation, why are you somewhere else? Why are you in Canada? Why are you not back home fighting it? I have an issue, just like, the one you saw of Simon Ekpa. You're there in Finland enjoying good life, and you're causing mayhem back home in the name that you're fighting for it. If you want to fight for something, come out there and be at the battlefront. Not that you be hiding somewhere, you're agitating, you're getting other people, to continue to do that. But anyway, let me go into the article itself. It says a federal court in Canada has denied the asylum or claim of Yoruba Nation leader Ayoola Oke after a prolonged legal battle, citing a lack of sufficient evidence to prove that he faced possible persecution in Nigeria and South Africa, where he holds a permanent residency. So that's the thing. Who is prosecuting you? But one of the things is that why you see this, and most times you see that it is the people who are living abroad that are pushing this whole either Yoruba Nation or IPOP or Biafra, whatever, is that it has become a source of income, a source of getting asylum. So there are people who, for them, that's the thing. So you come, you say, oh, you are being persecuted because you are IPOP, or you're being prosecuted because you are pro-Yoruba, this thing. I've not seen Arewa, the other one, or Middle Belt using that. They probably are. And then they will tell you they can get to asylum through this thing, and then people are paying money, they are setting donations, they do. The first day someone was telling me all about this thing, they were like, oh, because I was wondering, because I used to wonder, it's like, why is it that it is the ones that are abroad that are more interested in this thing than the ones that are even in Nigeria? So when this person broke it out for me that, oh, this is what it meant an opportunity for asylum seeking. I'm like, oh, no wonder they don't want it to end. No wonder they continue to cause mayhem back for us at home here, and then they go on to do the things that they want to do and enjoy a good life. And that's why for me, I don't know whether you saw the recent video of Simon Ekpa in prison and how humble he was looking after that that he had been doing, causing all sorts of mayhem in the southeast. But let me come back to People's Gazette, and there it says, according to court documents cited by People's Gazette, the legal tussle began in 2022 after Mr. Oke filed for an asylum application for his family upon their arrival in Canada, claiming he was forced to flee from Nigeria because of his political support of the separatist group Yoruba Nation. In his asylum filings, Mr. Oke, who was living in South Africa with his family before he fled to Canada, also claimed that he was forced to leave the Rainbow Nation in fear of persecution due to his Nigerian heritage, prompting him to apply for refugee protection in Canada. Subsequently, the Refugee Protection Division, RPD, accepted the claims of Mr. Oke's wife and children, but rejected his claim, stating that he was not a conventional he was not a conventional refugee, as as he did not demonstrate a serious possibility of persecution in Nigeria. So at least they've gained something. His family, his wife and children have been granted, their claims were accepted. It's only his own that was denied. Mr. Oke immediately filed an appeal before the Refugee Appeal Division, RAD, which also sided with the RPD, noting that the evidence provided by the plaintiff failed to establish a possibility of persecution in Nigeria for being a member of the Yoruba Nation following February 13, 2024 ruling. Meanwhile, displeased with the RAD's decision, Mr. Oke filed a judicial review before the federal court in Ottawa, Ontario, argued that the RAD unnecessarily refused to admit his text messages as new evidence. He also argued that the rules of evidence should have been applied in a more relaxed manner because he was self-represented. Oh, wow. However, in the ruling on May 16, 2025, Justice Anne MacDonald rejected the application of Mr. Oke, noting that the RAD was right with their refusal to admit his text messages as new evidence because RPD's admissibility rules leave no room after discretion. The federal court has determined that the test of admissibility of new evidence leaves no room for discretion and must be interpreted narrowly, or it departs from the general principle that the Refugee Appeal Division RAD proceeds without a hearing based on the record before the RPD. Well, these are a lot of legal issues that are going on. The court also dismissed Mr. Oke's argument that the RAD failed to consider the two newspaper articles he presented as evidence, with Ms. MacDonald ruling that the RAD considered and weighed the evidence made up of the news articles and the NDP evidence. She added the role of this court is not to reweigh the evidence, and the applicant has not identified any error with the rights handling of evidence. That was a long read. There were a lot of things that people were saying in the comment section. In that one, this one say, Ugo Eze said, Yoruba Nation needs him. Canada did the right thing. How can he be the leader of Yoruba Nation from Canada? My friend, come back to Ogun State and rule. Okay. That's all me. Say, come back to Ogun State and rule your kingdom. Oh my God, there's no need of reading the rest of the text, but all I just to say, for those who are agitating, there is nothing wrong with agitation. Everybody has a right to agitate. If you want Yoruba Nation, Arewa Nation, Biafra Nation, South Nation, Middle Belt Nation, it's in your right to demand for that. But what I want you to understand, for those of you who constantly come to abuse, attack other people, is that it's other people's right to also work towards having a Nigeria where there's good governance, accountability, and transparency, and not be interested in having any particular nation other than the Nigerian nation. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.